fresh installation of Laravel, and this is the output you'll get. So in this tutorial I'm going to teach you about multiple databases, how to implement multiple databases in your Laravel application. So for that, first of all, go to your env file. If you are fresher to Laravel, then env is the environment file where you define your all your key, API key, and env database credential. So this is a database, basic database structure for first the database. So I have just created two databases called second DB and first DB, which is empty right now. So go to your env file and give that database name and credential. In my case, my username is root and password is blank. So this is a credential for first database we usually do in Laravel our application, but in this tutorial we are talking about connecting with a multiple databases. So in that, which is when our application is get large, then we might have to connect with multiple databases, or maybe our application is in version 2, then we might get data from version 1. So in that cases we're gonna need to connect to multiple databases. So for that, just copy this. As I told you, this is a default connection for first default database. So if you want to connect it to another database, you just copy paste that and rename that to second DB. In a case, give the database name for you created. In my case, I have created two databases, first and second. So after that, so this is the environment setting. So after that, close that and go to config, and then that database.php. Now, as you can see, sorry, now I need to change that to DB connection first, DB connection second. Yeah, I need to continue then to second DB connection second. If it is the same name, then there will gonna be an issue, so you gotta have to give it a different name. So this is for first one, this is the second host, and this is the second port, and this is the second DB, this is second username, and this is the second password. So go to your database.php, then this is a back work of database setting. We just usually work on .env, but what happens in the background is this is what's going on in the background. So just copy and paste this mysql array. Now change your definition here. For example, for DB username database, DB host database, this is the first one, so this is the second one, second DB setting. So this URL is going to be same, but you have to change driver mysql so let me change that. So driver will be env DB connection second, which is our this one, DB connection second. And then host will be DB host second, which is DB host second. So similarly, use your port database second, username second, password variable in here. So Notice that this is a mysql 1, this is a mysql 2. This array name should be different, otherwise it will not work. So remember this credential. I will provide a GitHub link. You can download that and you can use that later on. Now we have successfully created two databases connection, but so now let's create model for it. PHP artisan make model. First will be like customer. Sorry for the mistake. So what all does is it will create your migration model and controller. Now let me show that to you. There is a controller, there is a model, and there is a migration file. You can create it one command. So this is all. So another one I need is a PHP artisan make model. Let me call it a supplier, and that's you can also use this command. Sorry, it's not working. So all. It's taking a lot of time, man. So let me go here. So in your migration file, and you have set up a two database connection, but how can this migration will know which database it to migrate, like first DB or second DB? So for that it will not work. You have to make a little bit change in here. So for that, all we have to do is, before this create, we have to add connection then connection name. This is the first database, so I'm gonna write mysql by default. It will go to a first database, so I don't have to do anything in here. All I have to do is string. Let me give it a name. So let me migrate this and show you where it goes. Sorry, yes, okay, it's migrated, right? So I haven't set up anything, it's the default setting. So go to your DB. So in second DB there is nothing. In first DB there should be a customer. Yeah, there is a customer, and also there is a supplier, because I haven't defined anything. So supplier is going in here. Then you go to customer, there is a field. So this is defaultly, it will work as a MySQL first connection. So go to your in supplier. I need this to be in a second database. Migrate to the second database. So go here, type connection, and then MySQL 2, and also the same field like a string, and let it call the name. You can also give it a nullable field if you need, but it's not necessary. So I have already migrated it. So let me refresh the migration. So what migration refresh does is it will roll back all the migration file and it will migrate again. So now in my previous migration there was a customer supplier also showing in customer, but now there is only customer in first DB, and if I go to the second DB there is a supplier. So to work migration file, all we have to do is add this connection. So we set up our migration file, But now go to a web and create two route called customer and supplier, and customer controller, then customer. Now in migration file is recognizing which database it to go, but customer but model we also need to define it on a model. So on supplier, just add this line protected connection mysql 2, which is basically database.php and array you created. This you don't have to create for customer because it will basically default by Laravel. It will go to your, it will take connection as a first TB. So now I need to get a data from customer, right? So open customer controller. In here I need a data customer. This is Eloquent by the way. You don't know anything about Eloquent, you can visit my another tutorials. So let me give some data on customer side. On customers, insert first customer, and then another one is second customer. We have two data and as customer. So now here type your route name, unknown database system customer, unknown database Laravel. Oh, wait for a minute. So the problem was this error was giving because I need to restart my server. So restart your port, then it will work out. See, there is a customer and data is given there, first customer, and also there's a two array. Another one is second customer from my database, customer first and second. So it's working. So but this is from so do the same thing for supplier. Go to your web.php and make a route supplier, then go to your supplier controller and do this. And if I insert data in supplier, first supplier, second supplier, and now go to your supplier, it's working here. So it will work. So another thing to remember is MySQL is taking as default database. This first one is taking as first default database, but where are we defining it? So go up and there is a default is DB connection MySQL 1. If you need to pick MySQL your create this database you create as a default one, just go to your default and click change data in here. So on supplier controller, so this will work because we have defined in here. In case it does not work, you have to do is you have to define your connection in here. You can also define your connection in here. So for that you can supplier model gives to new supplier, then supplier model, you can define a connection here, set connection, mysql 2, and you can find any data in here. If you need to find data with ID 1, block model supplier model, find one. So go to your DB, let's take supplier table. There is a first supplier with a ID of 1. Go to your, as you can see, it's showing supplier first. So in case this will not work, you can define connection in here. And also this is an eloquent way, but if you need to work with query builder, what you have to do is $supplier db connection mysql 2. Remember, this is from database we define. Then table name is suppliers, then get. Now this and dump the supplier. Now go to your browser. As you can see, it's working. So this is how you implement multiple database connection in your system. So basic revision: in env file, define 2, your new database here. In database table, this is the default one. You can define default one here. Then just copy paste MySQL and create another, give you a MySQL 2 name. This. So in migration, define your database name type, connection type. By default is defined as in database, and in here default, that is MySQL 1. It has taken as the default one. So if you want to change to second database, change here. Now thing you have to do is you go to a model and this connection type, and in controller there is a multiple way. You can just do as world way, or you can define your database type here, connection type here, and also you can in eloquent way, and also you can use a query builder mode way. So that's it for multiple connection in Laravel.